Hi, welcome to today's webinar. My name is Jorgelina Perez. I'm a senior consultant in Autologica DMS. I've been working with dealers for 18 years now. And today we would like to share some insights on KPIs that can help manage the service department run smoothly. Okay, owners and managers of dealers are constantly bombarded by information. Many times it's difficult to know what's important between all those numbers and figures. So this meeting has the purpose to let you define 7 key performance indicators to help you manage the service department and see it grow. What we are going to see is how to quickly calculate and interpret those KPIs, identify the health of the sales team of services, and the most important issue, we will implement strategies to change those numbers by capturing service sales opportunities. First, let's consider some statistics. This comes from Google. 50% of new and used car buyers do not return for customer pay work after 1 year, while 80% stop coming back after 2 years. Also, dealerships capture less than 45% of customer pay ROs and the profit opportunities it has, meaning they are missing the highest service profit margins. This comes from an ADA, the Association of Dealerships in America. Also from an ADA, dealerships, the average dealership has only 57% absorption rate, while the benchmark is 100%. So let me ask you, when was the last time you took a step back and looked at how well your service department functions from end to end? Do you operate with transparency, with technology, or do you have inefficiencies that reduce productivity and also profitability, while damaging the customer experience as well? So the idea is to start working on these 7 KPIs, give a few ideas on how to improve those KPIs and increase that profitability at all, and also the feeling that the customer gets when he comes through our service department. The first one is customer pay maintenance penetration. These KPIs are based on a training course by Charlie Bolston, that's a service consultant. This one helps us measure what is called the health of the service sales team, because the number 1 job of the service advisor is to sell when he gets the opportunity to be with the customer. So what we are doing is we are dividing maintenance services over total customer pay ROs. So for example, if we have 1,000 ROs and 275 maintenance services, our KPI is 27.5%. What we see here is that without increasing the quantity of ROs, we can increase the labor quantity in each RO. So this KPI is already improving. So we can train service advisors to ask strategic questions in order to sell more when they receive in a vehicle. We have many strategies thought in order to get that service bug in the service advisor. One is incentives. You can give bonus to any technician or service advisor that sells an additional hour. So for example, if the labor hour price is $800, with an additional 60 hours that we sell a month, we get an extra 48,000 extra income. You have to take into account that the technician or the service advisor who made the sale has to take care of the job or be aware that there is room in order to perform that job. Also, you can work with tools like dealer tablets, where you can while receiving the vehicle, you can ask questions to the customer regarding other jobs or sales offers you have. So since the vehicle is already on the garage, what else can you perform while the vehicle is there? We can also focus on marketing better our service department. As we said on the first slides, we need to get the customer into dealerships and not independent shops. So we should position our dealership favorably in the mind of the customer. We have to understand what's important to the customer and then be able to effectively communicate why they should come to us. We should present ourselves as a superior option on our marketing strategy. So, for example, we are competitively priced. We offer specialized parts. We have knowledge and training from the OEM for your vehicle. Another option is you can also offer alternative transportation, pick-up and drop-off options that grew a lot through the pandemic, and other benefits that independent shops do not offer. If you use Autologica DMS, you can get this information of this specific KPI, the customer pay maintenance penetration, through the service recap option report. The second one is the overall shop work mix. In order to analyze how to sell that with the biggest margin, we need to focus on the situations that we as dealers can control and which we can't. We do not depend on the customer to come to our workshop. We have to make him or her come to our workshop because we have an impeccable service. So internals and warranties and some of the customer ROs are controlled by fate when they need a specific repair, but we can control other jobs we can perform paid by the customer by improving our selling skills. So it's important to see this overall shop work mix to have a clear view of how many hours we work for the customer, how many for internal, for warranty, etc. So with Autologica's BI, you can check that information, check that mix in one of our predefined reports on service performance. And also you can drill down to get more information. We will see another KPI where the mix of services to customer is also important. So you can get that information here and also comparing with previous years to see if we improved based on some techniques we applied or based on start measuring these KPIs. In this example, 47% is customer-based, 36% is internal, and 14% is warranty. The 3% remaining are mixed ROs, because in Autologica, you can mix customer with warranty, warranty with internal, and so on. So let's focus on the 36% internal. Are we redoing the same job more than once? Do we have rectifications? Are we working on pre-delivery services for sales? If that's the case, how much do we charge sales by hour? Could we be selling those hours to customers instead of working for sales? So having this information lets you control and make better decisions. The third one, customer pay work mix, is following the spirit of the previous KPI, but now we are analyzing the composition of those hours that we sold to customers. This allows us to aim for jobs with higher profitability, train the technicians, and also analyze if there's a specific labor that we are not performing. I mean, third-party jobs, workshops are getting those jobs instead of us. So what we're going to do is to compare the hours of oil change over the total customer pay hours, or the repair hours, or the maintenance hours over those customer paid hours. Also, by working with Autologica, we get that mix on a report. We get that KPI on the service recap report. And also in our BI, you can check that mix in one of our predefined reports, but you have to take into account here that a thorough service pricing guide on your DMS helps you obtain better information quality, because if every job that is customer pay goes to repair or to service without a proper separation, you won't be able to get this work mix properly. In this example, we have 47% of our customer pay work is repairs, 14% maintenance, and 29% preventive maintenance. So what can we do here? First, we can always try to have more than one job in the RO. That's our main goal through the whole webinar. Use the DMS you have to define types of jobs. So if you define better types of jobs, you will have more information then to take action. And commercially, always aim for those jobs where you have higher profitability. Going to the fourth KPI, the overall shop efficiency. This helps dealers get a higher profitability. We are going to compare the overall shop efficiency by dividing invoiced hours over clocked hours. So if we have 4 technicians and they work 40 hours per week, we have 160 clock hours. The invoiced hours over the clocked hours, we have, in this example, 62% efficiency. We can get this also through a report in Autologica, and it's very important in order to get this KPI to register using the, for example, a job clock, all the flagged hours of your technicians. When you compare this report user by user, you have the possibility to improve by using tools, as we said, to register those flagged hours, training your technicians on maybe jobs that they are not being efficient, and also make the habit of measuring and knowing what is happening on the job. We don't have to work harder, we have to work better. So training expertise, having the right tools can improve dramatically this KPI. The fifth one, effective labor rate. We compare the labor dollars over the hours we work. So, for example, let's say you sold a total of $7,000 in labor and your technician flagged 7 hours. Your effective labor rate would be 1,000. This KPI has to be compared with the price per hour of the labor, so you can redefine it. If you have hourly technicians and they aren't flagging their hours, then you are not going to get an accurate number for your cost of labor. Without an accurate number for your cost of labor, you won't have a real number to figure out what is your effective labor rate. So you need to have everybody flagging their hours. Autologica's job clock helps you with your technicians, helps them flag those hours in just a couple of steps, and you get that information directly into Autologica's DMS. So you get the report we see previously. The effective labor rate is calculated in Autologica in several of our sales reports. You can see total effective labor rate by charts too, and it helps you redefine, as we said, the hourly rate. Now we are going to see the service gross profits. The invoice value of labor sales, it's easy. It's the labor cost that always causes confusion. Some people assume that labor gross profit is labor sales minus the technician's total salary, which are the hours we bought. However, if this were the case, the idle time would be reported as 0, and there would be no expense shown for rectification, holidays, etc. So all the operations efficiency would be incorrect. Getting this correct is critical for a successful analysis. So what we are going to do is to compare labor sales with labor cost of sales. In Autologica, this KPI is calculated on our business intelligence dashboard, the accounting application. You get that information for each of your departments, the gross profit, and it's based on the information you have just by using Autologica. You open the arrows, you invoice, and we get the accounting, and that information goes back to our BI in order to get the KPI already calculated. The last one, parts to labor ratio. The margin applied to parts that we sold through workshop is limited. It's defined by the purchase policy of the dealer, also by the market. The customer may ask around just in several shops for the price. So if we play the sales card on our service advisors, we can add jobs to the arrow. And we always have to have in mind not to open the arrow just for what the customer came to do. We can ask the customer if we can perform another service for you today. If we find something on the vehicle, how should we proceed? We can repair it now, or we can take an appointment for later this week or next month, and to engage the customer in coming back to our shop. This parts to labor ratio also can be obtained through Autologica's KPI dashboard, in this case, not BI, but our KPI dashboard, that it's an app on your phone where you can access to quickly check sales of parts, sales of labor, sales of vehicles, and also the ratio of these different KPIs. In this case, based on the amount, you have $1 of labor for each $1.58 of parts. We have to change that ratio in order to improve that KPI. So some advice we took from successful dealers we've met through all these years. Think of car sales meetings in your dealer. How often do you see them taking place? So why not do the same for service sales? Do service meeting sales. Use any system that you feel comfortable with and will allow you to measure, to know where you're standing and how to improve. And also, KPIs are important, but we shouldn't confuse the scoreboard for the game. You cannot lead people effectively if you are obsessed with the numbers and you ignore the daily behaviors that run within your culture. The numbers in your dealership are a result of that culture. So culture dictates behavior, and behavior determines results. So we need to take this into account. We're working with all people, so people should always come before numbers. Okay, thank you all for attending. We'll hopefully see you again in one of our webinars, and have a good day. Bye-bye.